Good morning, welcome to the video. It's Monday the 20th of January, so that final big push before the final week before Christmas, that was a month ago, believe it or not. So from last week's video you will know that this week's main job is to just carry on from what I was doing, but just on the hedge, but from the neighbour's side. So that would be the main goal for this week. However, I did get an email. If you remember the big white house that I go to where no one lives, I just sort of go as and when. I heard that the client is actually arriving in this country today, in fact. So everybody was asked to just kind of go in and make sure their kind of departments, if you like, were tidy. I've got no plans to cut or do anything. I did have a plan at some stage to go in and just cut stuff back and basically have a big bonfire. Obviously I don't know what time they're turning up, if they're turning up at all, so what I will do is just nip in there first thing, just run around with the blower, just make sure the entrance, the driveways are looking as sort of tidy as possible without doing too much or getting into a sort of a big project. So that would be job one. Then make a start on the hedges on the other side. And then if you remember last year, I had a very large lawn which was cut with a Husqvarna robot mower, and the client contacted me in the springtime essentially because they'd had some works done and they hadn't had the new cables put round the beds that they'd had put in, so of course the robot mower wouldn't know that there was a flower bed there, so would then just mow straight over the top. They also had in the summertime, the growth, because it was such a wet summer, the growth just got too much and the robot mower couldn't keep up with it. They've let one of the lawns go wild and it hasn't been cut, so that needs dealing with. So essentially they just want a winter cut. I suppose the robot mower maybe being serviced or something. Looking at the weather this week, it looks as though Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are going to be good. Bit of rain coming in on Thursday afternoon, and then Friday, certainly through Thursday night into Friday, is looking really, really wet. So the plan would be do the White House first and then spend the rest of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on the hedges. What would be convenient then is I'm in that road, so I can then bring my tractor back, and then on Thursday do that lawn, the big lawn on the tractor. And then if Friday's going to be a washout, then that's perfect. I've got the tractor at home, so then while it's there I can then give it a good clean up, good service, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's how it's looking, but as always everything's subject to change because of the weather at this time of year. This is just what I'm sort of guessing is going to happen. So anyways, right, well, I'll see you at the first project where we're just going to be running around with a blower. Okay, so we're at the White House. It's not actually that bad. The patio needs a bit of a clean up, and just moss, I guess, from the roof. Lawn is what it is, a mossy, horrible mess, but it is what it is. And the driveway's got a little bit of clearing up, you know, just a little bit of stuff on the floor, so nothing major. The beds have already been done. The cleaner actually weirdly does the beds. So yeah, just a bit of debris here and there, not too much, so we'll just give it a quick once over with a blower, do the driveway, etc., patios, and yeah, that'll be it. Okay, simple plan today, wasn't it? Simple plan. Come in, clear some leaves, and then move on to a hedge job. No, because this is me, and we don't do simple things. So, essentially, just flood. I was blowing, so I couldn't hear it. Flood round there. We'll come back to that spray out, and then I heard the water gushing in here. So essentially, that where you should turn it off wasn't attached at all. So I've pushed it on as best I can. You come here for lawn care, but you get plumbing advice. I'm not a plumber. So I've pushed that on and I thought, okay, it's not permanent, but it's a quick fix. But what it's meant is the water is now pissing out of that seal there. So, water spraying out on the outside of the house, not the inside. So that's, or the summer house. So that's a better thing, I suppose. So now I sent an email to all the relevant trades and people who are in charge of this house, and they the window cleaner has messaged me and basically explained to me how I need to get into the house and go and turn it off. I've never been in this house before, so yeah, I'm going to go in and see what I can find. Although there's not just a simple alarm where you turn the code off. You've got to get a key fob and you've got to touch something at a certain point in the house at a certain area for the alarm to go off. So the next, I might cut back in a minute to the alarm going off and the police on their way. We'll just have to see. Nothing simple, is it? I've spoken to 2 people now and the codes they've all given me don't seem to be working. So I can't get in the house. So I can't turn the water off. So I'm just going to carry on blowing. They know about it and someone's going to come over and try and get in. But yeah, not my department. So yeah, the water, at least what I've done means that the leak is now on the outside as opposed to the inside. So but I assume it's been going on all weekend or longer. So and it's not even like the coldest, you know, it's been colder, isn't it? So anyways, it is what it is, and you can only do what you can do. So I will be going back to the job I'm here to do. Okay, so in a quick update, the cleaner's husband turned up. Don't know why, doesn't really matter, but he had the key to get in, so I was able to then get in and actively turn it off with a screwdriver under the main kitchen sink, and obviously that stopped it. So yeah, I'm assuming that obviously you need to fix the on-off valve inside, and then that's going to need to be re-welded or replaced, who knows. So definitely a plumber's job, but yeah, not ideal. Right, so we're on to the second job now. Unfortunately no water leaks here, so that's good. I think we've had gas leaks in the past maybe, but no water leaks. So this hedge I did in the summer all the way to here, and actually I went along this fence. Actually I put that wildlife fence in years ago, one of the first jobs I did here, and I basically went along with the long-handled hedge cutter, and I just did what I could in the summer, and you can now see that sort of overhanging bit, and that was really because I sort of ran out of time. So all I'm doing now is just going up as high as I can with the 8-foot henchman. Obviously it's on its longest legs, and the ladder. So I think it was in my last video, Scott from SE Landscaping, he asked a question about is it a hard sell to do 12 months of the year gardening, and what I said to them is actually it's the clients that come to me, and that actually no, it's not a hard sell. The clients come to me, they ask me, oh, can you do this, can you do that, and I normally say, you know, yes I can, but if you can wait for my quiet time, sort of January time, that'd be great. 9 times out of 10 they're happy to wait. So there we are. And actually the client's just brought me coffee, but she's also just mentioned about putting in a little kind of like decorative yew hedge, and I said, well, now is the time to be doing it. One, because it is the time to do it, but equally it fits in with my schedule. So there you go. There's another day's job which has just come at me, and that's the great thing, is having clients who are wanting lots of things done, and these big properties, they need a lot of work done. You know, last week we were next door last week doing the hedges. I've still got the top bits that I can't do with the small henchman. Then I've got all the there's patio slabs which go all the way down to the bottom of the garden. It's a long old way, and they've never been cleaned ever. So that was a suggestion I made, mainly because I keep slipping on them. So I've got all of those to jet wash. So I will be back there at some point doing all of those. So, and then across the road, I've got 2 or 3 days across the road there, and these are all just January jobs I do apart from the pressure washing. But I probably will do that more regularly. These are just jobs I do all the time, every year. So there's plenty of work out there. Oh, and there's a robin. Okay, so you can see kind of where the ladder is. That's where I've been working. This is last week's property, but from this side, so you can see that hedge. That was what I did on day 1, I think it was. So, and then obviously day 2, it's gone up, it's gone round. So I need to get all this bit, take it back to the fence line, because I'll clear all that up when I clear the rest of it up. So this is actually the boundary line. This fence here, here's the hedge, which is sort of, but so this client, or the previous clients, lost basically a meter's width on both sides of their garden to have that fence put in. I've basically just gone along over there, and then tomorrow we'll be topping this off, which hasn't been done for a while. The summer of 22 absolutely obliterated this hedge, particularly that bit over there. Sections of it I've had to replace. That section there is just coming back. You can see the sort of the dead bits. I mean, it was completely gone at one stage, and you can see the bits that haven't recovered. But it's filled out and it's coming back, so that's good. So what we're trying to do is raise the height here to the height of that hedge over there, and then we're going to drop the height of that hedge down to the same height over there, so it's all sort of intermatching, because this was really low actually and didn't actually give any privacy. So we're raising it, and we're raising and we're lowering. Okay, so Tuesday morning. So today the task is tidy up the side and then bring the height down probably a good foot or more. Essentially you can kind of see there where I've just sort of gone in roughly just to kind of get a rough line. Tidy up the side of all of that laurel, and you can see behind the greenhouse it's pretty unruly too. So get in there. We've got the fire going. It's quite foggy today, so you can't really tell what's fog and what's smoke. Seems to all be going over into next door's garden where I was like yesterday, but actually it's going up a bit higher now. So we'll chuck a bit more of yesterday's offerings onto it. So that's the idea, is I've got it going now, so I'll just periodically just keep throwing stuff on during the day. Okay, so nearly across the top there. What I'll do is once I've got done, then I'll just get the rake on the top, pull off all the chopped up bits. That will lift up any stragglers, and then yeah, just whiz over it again. Fire's still burning away nicely. Been using the long-handled hedge trimmer, the Stihl Combi, and the Ego normal hedge cutter, sort of on and off all day. And then the Stihl ran out of battery. Just been using the AP200, and I thought, I'll go and stick that on charge. I then looked at the Ego and there was one light left, so I thought, you know what, I'll bring that one down and charge it. And this is one of the annoying things, bearing in mind that I've used this battery all day. It's telling me it's too cold to charge. So that's annoying, particularly if I only had one battery. I don't, so it's okay, but it is annoying. Okay, Wednesday morning. So as you can see over there, that hedge is sort of levelish. Obviously we're growing bits up and cutting bits down and trying to get them to all match up better all the way down there. And yeah, done the side here, so now all we need to do is just find some middle ground. Obviously reduce the height at the two ends, but maybe let the middle grow up a little bit. So I've done the side, I've got the fire going. So yeah, tomorrow on the tractor, if it doesn't rain too early. So nice relief from doing this. Okay, morning. So it's Thursday. I'd had enough of hedge cutting by yesterday, I tell you that. So anyway, it is what it is. All that's done really. There's a few areas where I need the high ladder for, but other than that, it's done. So today was going to be a tractor mower day on the large lawn that's done by the robot. However, it looks as though the storm's coming in tomorrow, but it's sort of on its way over now, and the first thing that's going to hit us is a heavy rain. Now it looks as though the heavy rain's going to hit us from about 10, 11 o'clock ish, and then it's going to be, say, 4 hours of torrential rain. What I really want to do, because I'm assuming this grass is going to be quite long, I know it's going to be long in some places, I want to do a dry cut really. So the plan is basically get in, and there'll be lots of edging to do, is just do all the strimmer work maybe until the rain comes, and then mow another day basically. I doubt it'll be tomorrow, because tomorrow's looking as though it's the storm, whatever the storm is, whether that's just wind or rain. I mean, if it's just wind, you know, it might dry it out quite nicely. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. So the plan was, as I say, to get there and do the strimming. I've just filled up with fuel and it started raining, so it looks as though we've got a little bit of rain coming in. So I've just about to check the map just to see whether this is the start of the big stuff, or is this is just a little isolated shower that's passing through. I'm hoping that's the case, so I still might get a good hour, as I say, of strimming till the big stuff turns up, if you like. So anyway, I'll show you the map now. And okay, so here's the rain coming in. We've got this bit now, and then there's that little gap there, and then by sort of 10 o'clock onwards it gets crazy. So yeah, it's now working out really, is this rain here, is this going to come to anything? Can I get some strimming done, if nothing else, before, so at 10 o'clock roughly? So basically it's about 7:45 now, and then at 10 o'clock the really heavy stuff comes in. So by the time I've set up and everything and I've got to the property, I'm just around the corner, you're looking at about an hour of strimming. And then yeah, I think I'm gonna go there and make a start, just make a start on the edging. It's something, isn't it? And then yeah, we'll take it as we find it, I guess. Okay, so a little reminder of this job. You've seen it a few times. So you've got the house over there, then you've got this first kind of like driveway lawn, if you like. So remember, this is all done with a robot mower. Oh, here comes the rain. This may be all that we get done today. Lots of moles. A fire pit. Then we come round. So all I'll be doing with the strimmer is basically just trimming the hedge line, fence line, around the fire pit, around the wire. Bloody monkey puzzle tree. All the way down here, obviously strimming both sides, and then we mow. We'll kick those off. Oh, that's harder. Then I guess what you'd regard as the main lawn. Actually, the robot mower isn't in its port, so I guess it is away being serviced or something. So this was the initial call out, was because these beds had all been put in. If you remember last year, at the end of the year, I trimmed all these beds because they were all let's see if I can add a little video or a photo, because obviously the grass had grown all the way around it and the mower doesn't cut up to it, so they got me into trim there. So I really want to do a dry cut on all this. So yep, that's that. And what they found is that because it was a wet summer, the robot mower just couldn't keep up with everything. Now, it did all this area as well, but just couldn't keep up with it. So what they did was they basically shut this section off so that the robot mower only had to do the driveway lawn and this main lawn. But what it has meant is this lawn, let me spin you around, it has meant that this lawn has gone wild. So this does need cutting as well. The plan had been to flail it, however it's not that long, so if it's dry on a high cut I should be able to probably get the Cub Cadet through it. I can certainly give it a go anyway, I can't see why not. I know I've cut a lot longer grass with the Cub Cadet, so we should be alright, and that's kind of it. They do have gardeners that come in here now. You can see this, go on then, what has happened to the yew? Is it just sat wet? Is it, well, because it's almost a whole hedge that's gone there. What's your thoughts? Okay, so we got all the areas strimmed. Now, a previous conversation I'd had with the client is about that longer area, flailing it. Now, I know I said in the last segment, if you like, how actually I think the Cub Cadet could do it. It could do it. However, a lot of the areas were quite wet, and I was more concerned about the tractor getting stuck actually. So I'd spoken to the client about actually getting the flail mower in, which would do a much better job and a tidier job as well, because it really would sort of obliterate everything. But it also being more sort of like tractor-y kind of wheels and stuff and pedestrian, you can kind of get around those wet areas. So actually the client came back, so I gave her sort of a price off the top of my head to sort of do it, and everything was good. So the plan was to sort of come home, take the mower out the van, then go and get it. Now I'm just looking at the weather, and I'll put in what the weather's advertising for about an hour's time, and it's looking biblical. But then once that passes, nothing happens. It looks pretty clear and dry. So what I don't want to do is, I'm all for working in the rain, but then there's levels, isn't there? So I think what I'll do is just sit it out for an hour. I'm going to use that time to wash the van actually, because it is raining. But then if it becomes really bad, that's fine, do a bit of paperwork, and then maybe go around this afternoon, or maybe go first thing in the morning. We shall see. They've got the flail mower in, so that's something. So even if I just pick it up this afternoon, then I can make a start first thing in the morning. We shall see. But what I don't want to be doing is just sitting in a van at somebody's house, just waiting. So I might as well do some other stuff before we get into that situation. Okay, so it's Friday, and that's pretty much the end of the week. I'm not even going to attempt to name the storm, which is supposed to be coming in today. We had a bit of rain this morning, and it was a little bit windy for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, enough for the barbecue cover to come off, but that seems to be it, and it seems to be pretty calm now. So what's going to come of it, I've no idea, but today had already been booked in as an office day. I've created a list of all the things I need to get through, most of them relating to sort of end of year tax, stuff like that, new bank account, as I said. And then what I'm going to do is Monday out with a flail mower. So I'm just going to notify all my clients who I think could benefit from having a flail mower, and yeah, just put it to them, and then that will just reduce the cost of the hire for the original client. So yeah, lots and lots of things to get through, and sometimes you need office days, regardless of the weather. We'll get this done. So anyway, I'll see you next week for another instalment of whatever may come.